Britain will be much safer after it leaves the EU at the end of the year, the former head of MI6 suggested in a throwback column. Today, the Minister for the Cabinet Office, Michael Gove, defended his plans for new post-Brexit border infrastructure after Labour said the government was unprepared. A £705 million funding package to help manage the UK's borders has been announced as the UK prepares to leave the EU customs union on December 31. Mr Gove insisted the government had been laying the groundwork for months. However, Labour Shadow Minister Rachel Reeves said the plans were too little, too late. The funding announcement follows a leaked letter from International Trade Secretary Liz Truss raising concerns about the readiness of Britain's ports. Under the plans, new border posts will be created inland where existing ports have no room to expand to cope with the extra checks that will be required. It relates only to the external borders of England, Scotland and Wales. As the end of the transition period gets closer, a 2016 throwback column by the former head of MI6, Sir Richard Dearlove, has resurfaced, in which he demolished the security case for staying in the EU, saying Britain would have been safer out. Sir Richard said Brexit would make it easier to deport terrorists and control borders. He added that Europe would have unlikely turned its back on Britain after its departure from the EU, as British intelligence services give much more than they get in return. The former spy chief also dismissed suggestions that Brexit would harm the country's relationship with the US and likened the EU's various intelligence bodies to the leakiest ships of state and colanders riddled with holes. Sir Richard, who was chief of the Secret Intelligence Service from 1999 to 2004, wrote for Prospect magazine, "Whether one is an enthusiastic European or not, the truth about Brexit from a national security perspective is that the cost to Britain would be low. Brexit would bring two potentially important security gains: the ability to dump the European Convention on Human Rights, remember the difficulty of extraditing the extremist Abu Hamza of the Finsbury Park Mosque, and, more importantly, greater control over immigration from the European Union."